All right. First of all, welcome to iCEPS virtual workshop. For your information, participants who registered will receive a certificate from iCEPS and also jam latihan training hours. I'm going to give you a brief on the etiquette. Make sure that all phones are silenced during the video conference and try to limit the background noises during the multiple call. Please just use the microphone when you want to speak. If you're not, please mute it. Avoid interrupting the speaker. Please use the chat feature if you have any questions. And please dress appropriately and be aware of your surrounding as the session is being recorded and it's live streamed. So allow me to introduce our trainer for today. Edit your video like a champ with Clipchamp will be conducted by Dr. Noor Mayudia. She's currently the e-learning coordinator from the Faculty of Communication and Media Studies, and she's also the senior lecturer. So without further ado, I will pass the session to Dr. Mayu.
Thank you, Pansu. Okay, now I am going to use my entire screen for presentation. Hopefully everybody, okay. Can everybody see my screen correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Yes, we can.
okay, hello everybody. My name is Mayu. Basically, I am going to literally share knowledge on how literally to create video using Clipchamp. Okay. Now, first of all, I hope everybody has already received an email about this because because of the limited time that we have, so I have actually provided a kit. Okay, a kit for you to download. So I've already zipped the kit. If you can see, it's on my desktop. So it's supposed to be Clipchamp tutorial kit, right? Okay, so you need to unzip it. How to unzip it? Probably right click, unzip it, the folder on your desktop or anywhere. Just make sure that you have this folder. Now, anybody who has any question can turn on your mic and ask me question while I'm going through this, right? Okay, anyway, so therefore, what do we have in this folder, in this kit? If you double click, I have provided few images because we need to build whatever it is, we need to create video. So probably you may need some pictures, and I've already prepared some sound and also a video insert as well, right? So now about developing all this. So for these images, I can advise you to you can get like images from your PowerPoint. Let's say, for example, if lecturers already have an existing PowerPoint and you wanted to present to the student, you can literally convert all the PowerPoint into pictures, and then you can literally insert it in this Clipchamp, and then you can just insert your voice or recording materials. Okay, I will show it to you guys later lah. And then these are the sounds. So and you probably noticed that this sound in it, I'm not using my real voice because my real voice sounds like animation character. So I'm not using my real voice. So what I did was I actually prepared a script, and then I record it back in one of the software. And then I also downloaded a MP3 here that we are going to insert also in this Clipchamp in order for us to create video. Now, other than that, I've also included a PDF file. So if you open the PDF file, okay, anyway, so in the PDF form, I actually provided a link. So this is what we're going to create today. So if you go and click the YouTube video, okay, this is what we're gonna literally create today. Like it's a one minute something lah. Okay, so all of the materials that you find here is actually available in all the folders that I give you to. We were going to follow the step-by-step instruction on how to create this. So basically it's all here, even the movies as well. We have transition and everything. No worries, I'm going to guide your way in creating this. Okay, so anyway, going back to our script storyboard. All right, so now these are the things that I'm actually we are going to use. Okay, of course the app Clipchamp, you can click on the link and then it will direct you to the web page. Right now, it will, for the first time users, it will ask you about joining or registering it. So I would advise you to use your Gmail. Right, it's a very simple registration. You can just click on the several links. You can join via Facebook or Google. Right, you just click and then the information will be taken from there, and then it will automatically create your web page like this. Right, so now anybody has got any problem? No problem. Okay. Okay, anyway, so other than that, I've also included the online text speech editor. So this text speech editor, I'm not going to teach you because it's so simple. What you can do is you can write scripts like this. You can see here all visual. Okay, these are literally the script that you wanted to to turn into speech. So you can go to this form to text speech editor, right? And then you just copy and paste the text here, right? And then you can even select the languages and type of voice and then the speed, and you can even create an audio file. So when you create an audio file, it will automatically give you an audio file, and then you can download it to your desktop or to any of your folders that you want to save or store those sound clips, right? So I've done that. So therefore, in my sound, I've already have all these 5 clips based on the script that I have written here, right? Okay, so that's how I got my sound clip. If you do not want to use this sound clip, or you want to you use your own voice, it's okay. You can still do that by recording your own voice and save it in MP3, and then you can use that as well. It doesn't matter, as long as it's MP3, it's fine. Okay, now you can also, let's say for example, if you have recorded a teaching video, you can also do that. Just make sure that it's in MP4 format like this. Okay, so and you should put it in folders so that it's easier for you to, while developing it, it's easier for you to find all the materials in the folders. It's easier for you to go and find, easier for you to literally organize it in your Clipchamp video, right? So now, okay, setakat ini, do we have any question or not? No question. Everybody is okay with it, right? Have you downloaded the zip file? MP4.
Dah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sound MP3, video MP4. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if everybody is ready, hopefully you have your zip folder that has already been unzipped on your desktop like this, right? And then we can start with developing this one, developing our Clipchamp, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to open back my video. Okay, so I'm going to click my Clipchamp. Okay, now if you have already managed to log in to our Clipchamp, this is how it's going to look like, right? So Clipchamp is going to have a history of the videos that you have already created lah. To tell you the truth, I've developed quite a number of videos, but I've deleted some of them because it's going to have I mean, it's going to use lots of space. So therefore, I just delete all the videos that I don't want to use anymore, right? So anyway, so now, first things first, if you can see this, right, it's very simple. What you can do is, in order for you to create a video, I mean, if you have already a video and you want to edit it, it's a matter of clicking this, right? And then you can literally edit the video because it's already stored in your data. But let's say, for example, if you have not created any video, this part would be filled up with, I think, templates. Right? They do have templates for you to use, but templates requires you to, I mean, you don't have any control over the content that you want to include. So I would advise you to have your own materials, and you can create it on your own. I mean, you can create, like, because we do have to think about our students who do not have probably good internet connection. So I would advise you to break your clips in, I mean, maximum will probably be 5 minutes or 1 to 2 minutes, because if you create something using Clipchamp, for example, 1 to 2 minutes video, you can the size of the video, it's going to be 20 to 15 to 20 megabytes only. So you can release that in, or if you want to save that in YouTube, it's better still you save it in YouTube, because if you save it in YouTube, you can just share links via website, via WhatsApp or Telegram, and then they can click on the link. And I mean, good thing about YouTube is that it actually cater to your needs. For instance, if you have a really poor internet connection, so the video will automatically change so that it fulfill the low bandwidth. If students has Wi-Fi, so they can watch it using the with full bandwidth lah. Anyway, okay, now first things first. If all of you are ready, let's start with creating your first video. Okay, now, as you can see here, everybody would probably notice that there is a plus sign of create video on your left side, upper left side, right? So it's very easy. You just click on the create video, and then you can choose a format. Now, I would advise you to use a widescreen format, because this one would be good for YouTube and Vimeo. But let's say if you want to post it on IG, we can use the social aspect ratio ataupun format. But I usually use it for widescreen because most of the time I post my videos on YouTube. So I'm going to choose the widescreen instead. So once you click that, this is basically the graphic user interface that you'll be seeing on your desktop. Okay, before that, I have to stop and ask, anybody has got problem? No? Okay, good. Now, let's go back to the Clipchamp. Okay, now, so you can see here, this is basically the graphic user interface of whatever it is that you are seeing. No, it's not as complicated as the Adobe After Effects or Sony Vegas or whatever that you used to. It's quite clean and it's very simple. For instance, you can see on your left side, we have all these the panel on your left side. We have the additional add media button. We have the stock button. Stock is where they provide you with free materials as well that you can use, or they can even provide you with premium if you are willing to pay for it. Anyway, and then we have our media. Currently, we do not have anything yet in our media. We have to import it. And then we can also use the text button and the overlay button. The text button is probably, you can just write text, any text that you want. And then you can even choose whether you want to use it as an intro or just simple captions or anything. And then we have this overlay. Okay, overlay allows you to overlaying the next video or the next image that you have on your timeline. Okay, so this is the timeline. And then we have the background. We have three background, and the one is black, another one is white, another one is a solid color. So each of these background is literally used for when you have when you want to use a text. So you can choose the background for that particular text. Other than that, we also have transition here. Transition is quite important in terms of transiting between one idea to another idea. I will show you how to use later. And then of course we have a logo. Logo you can create or design, but I don't particularly use any logo because you have to create a logo in order for you to include a logo, right? So anyway, so you can just ignore it if you want. So now let's start with importing all our media. Now you can see this add media sign on your top left hand side. So we want to click this, and then we want to browse the file. The files that we want to browse is the files that is inside the browser that you downloaded and unzipped previously. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to browse all my files. So my file is basically on here, right? So I'm going to import everything from the magazine, the slide and everything, right? Because these are all the images materials that we're going to use. So I'm going to just open them. Right, you can see once you open it, it will automatically lay it out on your wait a minute. Okay, so it will automatically lay out in your library over here, right? And then now we are going to add our clip, the sound clip. So I'm going to import all of my sound clip here. Okay, so we also have the sound clip here. So as you can see, if you want to know which file is, you look at the extension. These are JPEGs, these are MP3. And I'm going to add another one, which is my short video. I'm going to click supermarket scene, click open. And now it's here, the supermarket scene, right?
Indeed.
Okay, now, another thing that I forgot to tell you is that we have to name the title of the project. You have to give the name to this project. So I'm just going to give very simple name, visual short video. Right? Okay, so that's that. Okay, now everybody, anybody has got any problem? Okay, very simple. Is it very simple? Okay, no problem. Okay, if no problem, let's continue. Okay, now, first thing we're going to do is, now we are going to follow this step-by-step instruction, the workflow, right? The first thing we're going to do is that we're going to go and find our sound clip, right? So clip 1. Okay, this is going to be the first thing that we want to insert in our timeline. So where is the timeline? The timeline is here, right? So I am going to go and find my clip 1 video. So now, how are you going to add? You can either drag it and drop it on the timeline, or you can even click this add to timeline button here, right? Now, other than adding it to the timeline, you can even delete it. Okay, if you delete it, if you accidentally delete any of the clip or any of the MP3 or any of the video or pictures, you can always add it back to the media as long as you have the original video or image or sound on your desktop. Right? So next, what we're gonna do is I'm going to add clip 1 to my timeline. Okay, so now you can see here, once you click the add button, it will automatically insert it in our timeline. Now the timeline is built accordingly. For instance, if you put pictures, so it will automatically appear pictures, and if it's video, it will automatically a video on another timeline here. But first thing, after that, how are you going to play this? It's very simple. It's either you click this play button that you can see here, or what you can do is you can just click your space bar,
Organization is quite important in the study of visual
Okay.
communication.
So you can, if you want to
Visual
stop it, you just click
organization
back your
makes-
space bar, or you can also click the pause button here. And then this timeline, you can literally move it anywhere you want along the timeline. So you can just drag it back to the first one, the first the beginning of the timeline. Nah? Okay, now next step is we are going to insert image, right? So this is a slide one. The slide one image is basically because we have already uploaded it in our library. So we are going to go and get this slide one image, right? So I'm going to add this to timeline. You probably notice now that once you add the timeline, it will not mix with the clip, but it will automatically build another lines for that particular image, right? So here, it's very simple. You've already add your MP3, you've already add your JPEG. So what you can do is that you can try it out.
Organization is
okay, this is how you're going to see it once it's on the timeline. So for instance, let's say I wanted to shorten this clip, for instance, right? So what I can do is I can click on this on my timeline for my image, and I can drag this. You can see if you roll over to the end or to the edge of the pictures that is inside the timeline, you can drag it, right? You can drag it. This allows you to decide how many minutes or how many seconds you want it to appear on the stage, basically. So here, for instance, I have already cut short a bit of the time for my image. So therefore, if I click my space bar, okay, so you can only see it for a few seconds, and that's that, right? So setakat ini, do we have any question or not? No question, huh? Am I going too fast or not? Am I going too fast? Okay, huh? Okay, so anyway, let's go back to my Clipchamp. Okay, now, okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to add, okay, another sound clip, right? So what we're gonna do is, you probably notice now that if I were to go and find my second sound clip, right? If I click at the timeline, it will automatically add it to the timeline next to my first clip one. It will automatically add it to the next space from my first clip one MP3. Okay, so currently, for instance, now if I want to click my spacebar.
Visual organization is quite important in the study of visual communication.
Okay, so here you can decide.
Sure that the
okay, here you can decide how do you want this image how long do you want it to appear on our on our screen here, right? So you can literally manipulate it like this. So let's say if I want it to play for 8 seconds, I'll just drag it for it to be played for 8 seconds. And apart from that, right, you probably notice another thing about this timeline or about this JPEG. Okay, you probably notice here on top of your the desk, on top of the the screen, right? You probably notice, right? You can actually change the color. So you can click it. You can see that you can actually change the color balance for that particular image, right? So let's say if you want it to, you can saturate it, you can contrast it, you can even change the color temperature accordingly lah. Okay, so if you do not want, you want it to be as normal, you can just click the reset button, or you can even choose filters. Okay, so we have quite a number of filters, and it's free. You see, there's a lot of filters that you can use. But my advice to you guys, if it's in design, don't go overboard with the filters. You know, try to make it as simple as possible, because keep it simple. Right. So if you go overboard, nanti people would be anyway. So and the next that you can see is also we have the transform button. Okay, so transform button allows you to flip or rotate the images that you want. You can even reduce the opacity if you want, right? And you can even flip it like this. Okay. Or let's say, for example, if you want it to be, if you want to crop, you can even crop it here for this image lah. Other than that, you can also use the fade in and fade out, but the fade in and fade out only uses for 2 seconds. So you can fade in for 2 seconds, or you can fade out for 2 seconds, depending on how you want to do this lah. Okay. So other than that, if you I would also tell you that every time you click on each of the elements on the timeline, this top navigation will change. For instance, if I click one MP3, you probably notice the GUI changes for clip, and then the properties for the clip actually changes. So for clip 1, we have the audio control, so you can literally manipulate its audio from 100% to 0%. And you can also fade in it or fade out it, but you can only do it for 2 seconds of fade in or fade out. Okay, I think that's enough for a simple work lah. Okay, so anyway, so let's move on. So now what I'm gonna do is that, okay, let's hear to the sound of our clip ini, right? So let's do a little bit of editing.
Visual organization is quite important in the study of visual communication. Visual organization.
Okay, now you probably notice that if I start off with suddenly
organization
principles of visual organization like this, it will be a little bit boring, correct? Not? So what you can do is that you can add text in front of this, meaning to say that an introduction. So how are we going to do that? It's simple. So you can just click text here, right? And you can pick and choose from the intros or the outros that's readily available in the library. So let's say if I want to use this intro, right, I can just add this to the timeline, and it will automatically create another line for the timeline, and you can edit it anywhere you want. So how are you going to do it? Just click on the intros that you want. Let's say I want to choose this one, so I'm adding this to my timeline. So I can click this, and my properties changes for my text, right? So I can click my text, and then I can change the headline. Let's say, for example, if I want to say visual organization, right? I can change my source or the type of font that I have. You can choose any type of font that you want, right? And then after that, you can test it out. So usually what we're gonna do is that here, according to the timeline. So if you have the timeline in parallel with each other, it doesn't make sense, right? So what you need to do is that you probably want to click on your image, and then you want to drag it to give it a little bit of space for my intro, like that. So it becomes
organization is quite
right?
important in the study of visual communication.
Okay, so now as you do it, I'm sure after this you become terror, no worries. All right. So setakat ini, am I going too fast? Do we have any question?
So far so good.
So far so good. Anybody else got any problem? No problem? Okay? Okay, Okay, good. Okay, now let's continue lah. Only have half an hour before question and answer. Okay, now after that, right, you can even add any of the medias that you wanted, right? So let's hear back to our video.
Visual organization is quite important in the study of visual communication. Visual organization. Make sure that the
Okay, so therefore I am going to just reduce this a little bit and go back, click back our media, right?
in the
And I can start, if you want, you can start adding any pictures that you want lah.
It's quite important in the study of visual communication. Organization. Make sure that the elements that are included in the design would be the best representation in communicating the intended goal for the design. Visual organization can be incorporated in as well as digital media.
I think I accidentally forgot to include another 2 image in the tutorial kit, but never mind. We can just, this is just a tutorial, right? So anyway, you can just drag any pictures just to try it. Let's say, for example, now second clip.
Design. Visual organization can be incorporated in print media as well as digital media. Visual organization can also be incorporated.
Okay. Visual organization can be incorporated in print or, okay, that one, I can use this image. Okay, so this is the print or digital image. So I'm going to add this to the timeline. So according to
goal for the design, visual organization can be incorporated in print media as well as digital media.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this a little bit up until it starts with the print and design, right? So now, if you notice, one thing about this is that when I click my backspace in it,
visual organization can be incorporated.
Okay, so you will probably notice there are no transition in between my first image and my second image, right? So now we can add transition to it. It adds a little bit of spice to our video lah, right? So what we can do is that in between these 2 images, we can click transition. So once you click transition, you probably notice here in our library, we have many types of transition. So we have the crossfade transition, the cross blur transition. You can try any one of them. Okay, the wipe out, the wipe down, the fade through, whatever. So I'm going to use the crossfade, for instance. So now, one thing about transition, if you want to use transition, make sure you choose only one type of transition and you want to use that transition for all. You cannot choose sekejap you want to use cross blur and then after that you want to use wipe down. After that, no, there will be no continuation in your design. So what you want to do is that if you want to choose one transition, just choose one transition and keep on using it afterwards. Just use one type of transition. So I am just going to click this crossfade. I'm going to drag this and just put it in between our okay, so I'm just drag and just put it in between our image. So this is what's going to happen after I put a transition.
Visual organization can be incorporated.
Okay. So the transition helps it to add smoothness to our video lah. Setakat ni, do you have any problem? No problem? No? Okay.
So far, so good.
Okay. So therefore, let's continue with our video.
As well as digital media. Visual organization can also be incorporated in design related to fashion.
Okay. So now when we go into the fashion punya dialogue, so we want to add fashion. So I'm going to go and click back our media button, right? And I'm going to go and add fashion images to the timeline. So there is a fashion image on the timeline. So I'm going to click that, right?
Visual organization can also be incorporated in design related to fashion.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this a little bit, right?
Can also be incorporated in design related fashion.
All right. So now again, I'm going to use transition, crossfade. I'm going to drop it in between my image. So this is what's going to happen.
Also be incorporated in design related to fashion.
Right? Okay, so you can literally edit it as you go, along.
In print media as well as digital media. Visual organization can also be incorporated in design related to fashion, space, architecture, art.
Okay. Now, so we do have, if you notice that I have the workflow here, insert transition, insert, you just follow that. But as we go along, it's basically following this flow. But I'm just gonna.
Dr. Mayu, there's a question.
Yes, yeah.
Somebody cannot add the transition. So can you show it
Okay,
again?
no, okay. Sure, I can show it again. So now the transition, it can be deleted as well. So let's say, because I want to show it again, correct? Not so I can delete my transition. So I can click on my transition and delete it. Okay, so let's say if I want the transition, I go back and click the transition button on your left side of the tools, and then you just click one of the transition, right? And then you just drag and drop it like that. Right? So I'm going to do this again. So you get the transition, you click on the transition button over here, choose any one of the transition by clicking it and dragging it and dropping it in between the images.
Dr. Mayu, is there a what we call undo button?
Oh, okay. There is no undo button, but what you can do is that you can just click anywhere and then you can just click delete. You click the delete on the desktop itu. Can you do that? Like for example, if I do not want it to be this way, I'll just click it and then I'll just delete it, right? And then you probably notice once you delete the picture, the transition will be deleted along with that particular picture. Or if you just want to delete the transition alone, you can just click on the transition and click on delete. Okay, you can even set your transition to 1-2 seconds or how many seconds you want, but usually transition, we only use 1 second transition here, maximum 3-second transition, but 3 seconds is too long, so you do not want to do that. Okay, do we have the problem? Oh shit. Oh, sorry. I am cursing on live stream. Okay, I'm just gonna click add to the timeline.
Mayu.
Click my transition. Click and drop. Okay.
Dr. Mayu.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Okay. I tried just now putting the video and then 2 still pictures. But using transition. However, if I want to add 1 more picture, tak boleh.
Okay. Now, can you show us your screen? You can click on. You scroll down. You can see that you are presenting, or click your and then click your presenting, and then we can see your screen. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Orang akan nampak review.
Alright.
Tak ada letak transition.
Okay, you want to show your screen. How? Click more option and then guna apa tu? Guna present apa site? Apa site pula? Present your screen.
Hold on.
Where's your screen?
Orang nampak sini. Nak bagi orang nampak.
Dr. Masila, we can see the screen now. I think you
Okay.
can just show the Clipchamp tab.
Which one?
This the
This
next
one, yeah?
yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Now the question is
I wanted to add, let's say I want to add this here. Tak boleh.
Okay. Now what you can do is you grab the one that is highlighting now, the black one, not that one, the one that's currently highlighting. You make sure there is no space in between. So what you can do is that you can click it, and then click it. You drag it near to the edge of the previous material. You can just drag it. Just drag it.
Okay.
Okay. Drag it again until there's no gap. So, yes, like that. All right. Now, what you can do is you can take the crossfade. Okay, drag it and just put it here, the transition in between. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
No, it's not appearing because
Not
there is
appearing.
no.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, just drag and put it here. Okay.
I see.
So
All right.
now you can use the space bar. Go back a little bit, few seconds. You just drag your space bar, your timeline to the white timeline. You just drag it, or you can just you can drag it over onto your left side, and then a little bit more on your left side, and then you can see the transition. Okay. Pasal apa tiba-tiba freeze? Hang ni. Aku kaya hang. Hello?
I punya pun hang.
You punya pun hang? What just happened?
I think Dr. Masila punya computer hang kot.
Itulah internet connection, I think.
Oh, okay.
Right, so Dr. Mayu boleh continue presenting.
I would present back.
Ya, continue je.
Okay, so I would share again. Okay, so now everybody can see my screen, right? I think
Yes.
so. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm going back to my Clipchamp. Right? Now, so currently, I'm going to do a little bit of editing. So I'm going to just drag my fashion picture here, because if we listen to the dialogue.
Related to fashion, space.
Okay. So I am going to go back to my media and just find a now room design. Okay. And add it here. I'm going to edit it a little bit as well. Okay, use my transition. Drag it, put it in between.
Fashion, space, architecture.
Okay. And so on and so forth. I'm going to get my building image. Okay. And I'm again going back to my transition. Take my crossfade and put it back here. Okay.
Design related to fashion, space, architecture.
Okay, again, delete it. No, it's a little bit cumbersome because you have to always listen back to the sound clip itu, so that you know what is happening. So you can add in etc.
etc.
Right. So now let's drag on our third clip. Now let's go and find our third clip. This is our third clip. I'm gonna add my third clip here. Right. So let's try this again.
I'm related to fashion, space, architecture, art, etc.
Oh, I forgot to put the art. Never mind. There you go.
Like
There you
visual.
go. Where's the art? Right here. And transition, crossfade. Put here. Da-dang.
Architecture, art, etc. A simple example to describe visual organization would be, for instance, when you walk in a supermarket.
Okay. So this is where we are going to drop our video. Now, the video is the supermarket scene. So I'm going to add this to a timeline. Right? Okay. So when I add this to a timeline, okay, one thing about video, sometimes when you download a video from YouTube or anywhere, there are some part of the video you don't want. For instance, right? I do not want to see this serial video. You see, serial, because it's not part of what I want, correct? Not. So the thing about this is that you can edit this part by clicking this, right, and literally cutting off this part like that, right? And you can drag it near to this, macam tu, and you try again. Now the serial is not featured anymore.
A simple example.
Right? Okay, now that you can either cut parts of the video that you do not want to be shown on our stage here. Apart from that, you can also do a little bit of editing on the video, such as, okay, for instance, I'm going to click my video, and you would notice the properties here changes as well, correct? So now, the original video has got a sound. So I do not want to use the original video from the sound because it's going to mess up with my sound clip, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to click on my audio control, right? And I'm going to just make sure that my track volume is reduced to 0. So now this video won't have a sound. I'm going to try this again, for instance.
Etc. A simple example to describe visual organization would be, for instance, when you walk in a supermarket.
Right? Okay, don't forget your transition. I'm going to just grab transition and put it back here. So I have a little bit of transition before it goes back to the video.
A simple example to describe visual organization would be, for instance, when you walk in a supermarket, you would notice items will be sorted according to its kind. Groceries such as...
Okay, so here I do not want this clip to be this long. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to reduce this to half. No worries, no worries. Okay, so I'm going to reduce it to half, right? A bit like that. Reduce this to half. Okay. Thanks again.
Design related to fashion, space, architecture, art, etc. A simple example to describe
now,
visual or...
Another thing you notice is that I want a little bit of pause. I do not want my clip to start off terus with the third clip, right? So what I'm going to do is, I am going to give it the space. How I'm going to do that? I'm going to drag my sound clip to and give it a little bit of space here, right? So that it will not start right in the off the bat. If I don't want it to do that, I'm just give it a little bit of space like that. So it has got a little bit of pause. Try again.
Design related to fashion, space, architecture, art, etc.
Probably that's too much. No. A little bit only, a little bit. Okay.
Space, architecture, art, etc. A simple example to describe visual organization would be, for instance, when you walk in a supermarket, you would notice items will be sorted according to its kind. Groceries such as...
Okay, so now groceries such as, okay, should start with taking the groceries picture now. So I'm gonna add the fresh produce picture here.
Market, you would notice items will be sorted according to its kind. Groceries such as
Ayo. Okay, I'm gonna use the transition again and drop it in between. Now, setakat ni, do you have any problem with the video? Anybody got problem with a little bit of editing of the video?
walk in a supermarket,
So
you
far,
would
okay.
notice items will be
Okay.
sorted according to its kind. Groceries such as fresh produce will be placed in one section. Dry cooking ingredient.
Okay, so next. Again, it's all about adding all the materials that you have. The idea is you have to make sure that you have all the material ready. So you just drag and drop it on your timeline. So that would be definitely easier lah. Then
Dia lebih kurang dengan video maker doktor?
Yes. Dia lebih kurang macam video maker. But the great thing about Clipchamp is that it will automatically allows you to share terus to your channel. Because just now, for instance, right, I registered ni using my Google account. So when I use my Google account, I already have my Google channel in my YouTube, correct? So when I click share, it will automatically save it in my channel. I don't have to go to my channel, upload it. So it's save a lot of time.
As fresh produce will be placed in one section. Dry cooking ingredients will be placed in another section. Drinks will be placed.
Okay, so now I'm going to add drinks. Right, again, put the transition.
Section. Dry cooking ingredients will be placed in another section. Drinks will be placed in another section, and so on and so forth. Promotion items will have sticker with bright.
Okay, so with bright colors, I already have this picture with bright colors.
In another section, and so on and so forth. Promotion items will have sticker with bright colors to attract customers, and there will be signs to indicate each section. Why does it have to be this way? Well, this is to ensure customers' shopping experience.
Okay, now I'm going to go and get my customer picture now, which is this one. Add to my timeline. A little bit. Add to my transition. Right.
And so on and so forth. Promotion items will have sticker bright colors to attract customers, and there will be signs to indicate each section. Why does it have to be this way? Well, this is to ensure customers' shopping experience will be smooth and uninterrupted.
All right. Now, let's go and pick up what will be our,
This lesson.
Clip number 4.
Similar.
So now we are going to add the last clip to it.
With print design, for instance, the magazine that you read is easily understood because in.
Okay, so again, I do not want this to I'm gonna give a little bit of space by adding again. Go back to my media, get my content, and then another content here. Right, so again, go back to my transition, crossfade, put it here, another crossfade, put it in between.
Then uninterrupted. Similarly, with print design, for instance, the magazine that you read is easily understood because information and design is organized according to its content.
Okay, and last clip. This is half an hour complete. Woohoo! Okay, now add another last clip over here.
Understood because information and design is organized according to its content. In this lesson, you will be learning about the few of the key principles in visual organization. That includes contrast, similarity.
Okay, now it's time for us to add our text. Now, you notice the last apa ni where's my minute. Okay. All right. Okay. The last of our clip is actually text, correct? Not so. I'm going to insert text here for the last of the lessons itu. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click my text button here, right? And I want to choose the text that I wanted to have. So text goes here. Let's say I choose any of the text. Katalah I choose ni push through. So I add this to a timeline. So when you add that, you realize that mana my text. Don't worry. Usually it will put the text here, right at the beginning. So what you can do is that you can just drag the text right to where you wanted it to appear. As for this case, I want it to appear at clip 5. So I'm just going to drag it and put it here. Drop it. All right, okay. A little bit like this. Okay, now I'm just going to go and add. Where is mine? Okay, I'm just going to copy this. In this lesson, you will be learning about blah, 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 include contrast. So I'm just going to copy this one. Copy, right? Let me just add the text over here. So you can edit accordingly, right? Okay.
Design is organized according its content. In this lesson, you will be learning about the few of the key principles in visual organization.
Okay, a little bit more like this.
Because information and design is organized according its content. In this lesson, you will be learning about the few of the key principles in visual organization. That includes contrast, similarity, proximity, repetition, alignment, and continuation.
Okay, and last but not least, our last clip of the day. I already put clip 5. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Any question or not? So now we have completed.
Organization is quite important in the study of visual communication.
The entire thing. So do we have any question?
The elements that are included in the design representation in communicating the intended goal.
Practice lah, Mayu.
Yes.
We need to practice lepas ni.
Yes, definitely. Okay, now let's.
Thank you very much.
Okay, belum habis lagi because kita belum export. Okay. Setakat ini, after the completed, you go through, and then if you are happy with all the arrangement of text, clip, video on our timeline, the next thing, the last step is for us to export the file. So now, there is an export button on your top right side of your screen. You have to click the export, right? And then after that, you need to choose the resolution. You probably notice here the 720p and 1080 for high def ini. You have to pay premium lah. But for us, it's okay with 480 because we want to just put it in YouTube. And if the resolution is too high, our students who has very slow internet connection won't be able to see it properly lah. So it's okay. You just pick the 480. Click continue, right? And then it will start exporting the video lah. So you have to wait lah. Based on the internet connection, if the internet connection is fast, then the exporting of the video would be fast. If the internet connection is slow, then the exporting video would be slow as well, right? So we just have to wait a little bit lah. This one is about under 2 minutes length, video length. So it will be done probably kalau good connection and everything, 5 minutes or less than that, right? So I think we have a really good internet connection because as you can see here, it's going well, right? And then you can save or upload the video. So you can download the video, and then after that you can upload. I will show it how are we going to upload directly to our YouTube channel, and what are the things that we can edit for the details of our video in our YouTube channel. Just a moment. 64%, 65%, 66, 67, 68. Okay, just a little bit more. Do you have any questions setakat ini? Anybody? No?
Yes, Prof.
Yes.
Could you please show me again how to transfer the text?
The text? Okay.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I will show it again once I finish exporting the video. Notice. Just a moment.
Dr. Mayu, how many videos can we create in this free version?
I think as many as you want, but because I've created quite a number of video currently. Okay. So now it will ask you where to save the video. You just save the video. So currently, because I do not know how many free videos that allow us to create, but I've created quite a number this week alone. I think close to 10 videos already. But what I did was I deleted the old project. I deleted the old project so that I can allow new projects to start, right? Okay, so now the question just now about exporting tools, about manipulating the text itu, wait a minute, I will do it a little bit later. Sekejap, I mute it. Okay, anyway, going back to this. So now you can also upload it. Once you download the video, you can save it in your desktop, or you can terus upload it in your YouTube. So if you upload it in your YouTube, you can just click my view video. So because I'm connected with my Gmail account, so therefore the browser, you can upload it, and then basically you can browser not currently recognize any video format. Okay. This will not happen if you have a newer video format. I usually use my another laptop. So upgrade your But anyway, so once it push you to the YouTube video, you can click on edit and edit the details of the video lah, such as the copyright usage, and put this under education, and then literally quite a number of things that you can edit the details lah. But anyway, so let's go back to the Clipchamp tu lah. So if I go back to my project, okay, now adding the text. Somebody asked me about adding the text, right? So now adding the text is simple. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna delete the text that I have just now. So I'm gonna delete this. Okay, so I'm going to just click on my text because that one I've already deleted. I'm going to click on my text, right? So let's say if I wanted to choose the text goes here. So let's say I choose this title. So I click edit to the timeline. So once I edit to the timeline, it will automatically appear on the timeline, but you can move the text around to where in a timeline that you want it to appear. For instance, because I want to use it here, so I drag it to the end of my, so that it parallel with my clip file. So I can edit it by clicking the text, and then the properties will appear on the top, and then you click on the properties, and then you paste whatever text that you want, or you can type any text that you want, right? So I'm just gonna paste it, right? like this, right? And then that's it, right? So later, let's say if you want the background color to be different, you can as well. Like you can transform this, the size of the text, and even the colors of the text if you want it. Huh? Okay. So, and after that,
experience will be smooth and uninterrupted. Similarly, with print design, for instance, the magazine that you read is easily understood because information and design is organized according its content. In this lesson, you will be learning about the few of the key principles in visual organization.
okay, that's it. Any question?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mayu.
Yes, yes. No worries. Happy to share. I think what's good about Clipchamp is that I think for me, it's very easy and it's shareable. You can terus upload it to the YouTube, and then the graphic user interface are very easy. So it's a matter of dragging, dropping, and you can easily share your project. And then the project will be available online. So let's say if you are on vacation, you don't have your computer with you, you can just get any computer, log onto your account. You can just edit the video. You don't need the raw material because it's already saved online. Any more question? Cepat pula lah. 11:30 dah habis. Any more question? Anyone want to?
No.
Ada. Thank you, Dr. Maya.
Thank you, Mayu.
I don't know whether the lesson is clear or not because
Yes, it's clear.
and you can follow the tutorial ini, the tutorial pula. You can just follow the workflow ini, insert. You can try on your own. Okay, I think that's it. Good. You are presenting.
Okay.
Presenting. Okay. That's it.
Dr. Mayu,
Yes.
I joined in a little bit later. So is it possible
yes.
for me to get the download of the PDF just now, the notes that you gave?
Okay. That one is in the if you look at our chat room here. Wait. I'll just go back to present now. Punya entire screen. Share. Okay. Now, if you look at your chat punya screen, okay. I think Puan Su already share it. Mana dia? Ada dalam ni. Here. Ni survey.
Dalam email pun ada, Dr. Maya.
Ni Google Drive ni. Link material ni. You can click it and then it will direct you to your Google Drive and then you can download it and then unzip the file.
Puan Su dah email juga.
Dalam email, yes. It's also available in your email. Now, other than that, let's say if you do not want to create this on your own, boleh juga sebenarnya. Sekejap. Boleh juga. What you can do is that you can just look at the available materials that they have. Like for instance, right? If I go back here, they do have free templates, but if you want to do free template pun lebih kurang macam tu juga. It's just that they have the free template. For instance, right, you can start with a template. This is free. Let's say if I click on beautiful content, right? Okay, so you can literally choose whichever you want. This is interesting. These are off. Some of it are free. Some of the probably template library you have to pay. But for instance, like this one, everything is that if you want to use this template, you can use this template. Some of the template you have to pay, but try to find some templates that are free. So you start from the template ini, you can edit. Edit meaning to say that again it goes back to clicking each elements that you want to edit, and then you click on text and you can edit. You click here, you can edit. You click here, you can edit. It's basically the same as what we did just now, but the difference between the template and the one that we did is that we already have the materials. So before you start with the project, what you need to do is that you have to make sure that you have the sound ready. You have the, let's say for example, the picture ready, the images ready. You have the sound ready. And then let's say if you want to insert video, you have the video ready. And then it's a matter of assembling it in your screen on the timeline. So you can just edit and delete, edit, delete. So let's say for example, spooky. This is the spooky sound, right? So I do not want this spooky sound. I can delete it, but I can also add it from my media. So I can browse my file and I can get some clip from my file, and then I can drop it here. So this is my clip. So instead of the sound just now, I have my sound. But you can do that as well. It doesn't matter. If not, these are templates. There are quite a number of templates. Okay. But you can also, let's say for example, you take the template, you can delete stuff in here. You can use the sound, the background sound, whatever. Because for me, I find it's quite hard for me to go and find free sound and free video, right? So they do have a little bit of video here, a little bit if you want to use, but if it's relevant to you, probably can use. If it's not, you can just create on your own.
No more question.
Okay.
Just need practice.
Yes, you definitely need practice. My advice to you that I do have, like say for example, let me open my YouTube channel. So I have been because of the because of our situation now. So I have been literally creating a lot of the videos using Clipchamp. You see, contrast, intro, teaser. All of these are literally done on. Of course, the animation I did it with animation, but the assembling of this I use Clipchamp. So I did quite a number of video using Clipchamp. So basically that's that. Okay. Thank you so much everybody for listening. If you have any question or whatever after this kan tanya, no worries, just drop me a line. I'm sure that my mobile phone tu ada dekat dalam poster iCEPS punya penyelaras tu. So you can always text me to ask me anything you want to know. I can help I can happily help you with it. Okay, that's it. I think. Thank you semua
Okay, thanks Mayu.
Dr. Mayu.
Thanks everybody
Okay,
for
thank you.
joining our session. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.